Hello, I'm William Pelarenos. I am your host for Life Experiences with William Pelarenos. And today we have a very special guest. I've been trying to get him back on the show for 2 years. Very busy man because he is the head of Chicago Paranormal Investigators. Dave Olson, welcome to the show.
I'm not here. It's only my spirit.
Only his spirit.
No, I'm glad to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
A little backstory on Dave. 2 years, or maybe 3 years ago, I interviewed him at our old radio station, WCGO in Evanston, and it was Halloween time like it is now. We were talking about some of his paranormal investigations with his team. Dave is a very reputable man. He's been a police officer for 35 years.
34.
34.
Thank you.
I stand corrected. And his team consists of 2 Chicago firefighters, correct?
Yes.
Another Chicago policeman.
Yes.
And a member of IDOT.
Yes.
And 2 professional cameramen that video and audio tape a lot of your investigations, correct?
Correct. Yeah, they're new to the team, but that's what they do for a living.
And they come out with you.
Yes.
Now, actually, if you look on equipment, we're going to go to the website, ChicagoParanormalInvestigators.com, and he actually owns an old ambulance that he converted into a command center, and you have all your utilities in there. There it is. That's it, right?
We call her Misty. And I kept with the police department. We had an ambulance we would use as a camera van, and all the camera feeds would come, like if we would follow protesters and stuff like that, or situations. And I'm like, man, this would be great to have something like this on investigations, because before I got the ambulance, I would have a 6x12 enclosed trailer, and it would take so long to set up all the gear inside the trailer, plus inside the location. So, yeah, the ambulance has been a blessing.
So when you come out there, I know I've been inside that ambulance about 3 years ago when we first did our first interview. You have equipment set up in there. You have video equipment.
Yes.
You have audio equipment, something like a sonar type thing, correct, for movements or heat thing?
Oh, yeah, that's all for inside. But, yeah, basically the ambulance is used. It's set up with 2 different DVR systems. You have an analog, and then you have one with all network cables, 4K video, which will saturate the inside of the location we're investigating. So all the camera feeds and audio will come back to the ambulance. And then we also have a computer station in there. And then, all that other stuff like thermal imaging and
that's what I was looking for. Thermal imaging. That's the one. That's the word I was looking for. You have thermal imaging equipment. So what you do, this ambulance or command center, whatever you want to call it, you also lay down cables to lay power to this equipment once you're inside the site, whether it's a house or a barn or a hotel, correct?
Yeah, sometimes that takes 4, 5, 6 hours, depending on how large the location is.
Yes. So with this equipment and this team, he goes and investigates ghostly happenings, people complain, and here's the kicker. He does it for free. There's no charge. These guys do this for free. This is a very expensive endeavor for these young men. And a couple of women. You have a couple of women on the team, right?
Yeah. Depending on what location we're investigating, there's times that we want a female investigator, so they're kind of on standby, part-time investigators. But we used them just recently, and they're great. They're outstanding. There's 3 of them we use, and they came out to an investigation we did about a month ago. It was an old school and church, and we thought maybe they would relate more to possible communication with nuns or children spirits in that location.
Now, you also lay some of these devices, if I remember correctly, these listening or audio devices inside like teddy bears and stuff to get ghosts of deceased children, correct?
Yes. It's I don't mean to laugh. It's heartbreaking when you think about a deceased child. But yes, there's so many items out there. Basically, we have a dog, 2 teddy bears with sensors. So if they're energy or if they touch it, will light up and alarms will go off, and it's a way to communicate. We use all different types of digital voice recorders, all different type of camcorders from full spectrum, night vision, all type of EMF meters. I mean, there's so much. Yeah, my wife's ready to kill me. I spent invested so much money.
There's a lot of technical to this, and I'm doing this from memory because I remember our first interview 3 years ago, and I'm glad I remembered that teddy bear caper. But let's talk about some of these investigations you've done. Sure. In the city of Chicago, you went to the Congress Hotel.
The Congress Theater.
Congress Theater.
I've been in that Congress Hotel, but the theater is where I investigated.
And what was going on there?
We got a lot of light anomalies that were intelligent movements to a lot of unexplained voices, EVPs. And
what do you mean by EVP?
It's the electronic voice phenomenon where, most of the time you don't hear it with your own ears, but the recording device, if it's the camcorder with the mic to just digital voice recorders, it will capture an unexplained voice that isn't yours or your team members.
Now, let's go through some of these phenomena. There's EVP.
Right.
It's on his website. There's EVP. What's the next one? Anomaly?
Yeah, you got apparitions, shadow figures.
There you go. From left to right, you have EVP.
Yes.
You got shadow figures. What is that for our listening public?
It's not an apparition. You see a partial, you just fast movement of a shadow. There's different claims of what it could be, but I've captured quite a few of them in my past. I've seen them with my own eyes. Just quick movement, like a shadow mass. Sometimes they're even shaped as a figure, but it's just not like a full-bodied figure where you can see features.
And then light anomaly. Explain that one.
Yeah, it's basically
orbs, right?
Yeah, orbs could be debunked. I'm very skeptical when it comes to orbs, but there's stuff I captured that's unexplainable with intelligent movement, doing routes that people would walk. Sometimes they strobe, sometimes they spin like mini tornadoes. And but yeah, I'm very hard when it comes to orbs, but I do believe that sometimes there's spirit energy.
And then what was the last one? Anomaly?
No, the last one was apparitions.
Apparition. That's when you see the figure itself.
Yeah, you could either see with your own eyes or your video or camera could capture it.
Very good, very good. All right, so at the Congress Theater, it's a closed-down theater. You were investigating. Is this the one where you had the child? You discovered a ghost of a child. Am I remembering this correctly?
Yes, that was, I believe, our second investigation, the second time we were there. And we captured, we had something actually that would, we had a psychic medium that picked up a small boy on the premises, in which we believe it was setting off our teddy bear with the sensors. And we went to another location in the building. And once again, the psychic medium was sensing a little boy. So she went down to the height of a child. And we get a clear voice coming through, and it sounds like a little boy saying "mommy." It was actually kind of heartbreaking, but a clear EVP that says "mommy." And then so we went to another location in the building, and I set up a flashlight, and it would answer my questions, turning it on and off on command. And with the questions I answered, it would light up for yes, and through the communication with the flashlight, it was a 7-year-old boy.
Now, your next investigation I got listed here, and this is on your website. I took this right off your website. We've talked about this in the past. Casa Madrid in Melrose Park. This was an old hotel, correct?
Yes.
And
no. Casa Madrid. No, it was an old gangster location.
Oh, a speakeasy, right?
It was everything. If you saw like The Sopranos, the TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one with bars, strip joints, underground tunnels, illegal gambling, you name it. It was probably there.
And over the years, they reclassified it and it became a tire repair shop, correct?
They did tire repair, alarm systems, and sound systems. I think it was called at one time, I don't know if it still is, Big Timer Sound Shop, I believe.
So the owner of the tire repair shop called you in to do investigations because of strange happenings, correct?
Yeah, that place was on TV once before. Actually, it was a bunch of off-duty police officers that went there. The evidence they got some really good evidence there. So I got to talk to the owner, and he invited me in. And one of his concerns was sometimes he'll be there alone, and he would hear the sounds of car rims like being thrown to the ground. And he knows it's no one, no employees. He's the only one, in the building, and it kind of spooks him. And we were lucky enough to capture that on video and audio.
Now, when you were there, did a bunch of tire rims fall down?
Yeah, it was a stack of 3. The top 2 were like pushed, went to the middle of the floor and bounced around. It was pitch dark in there. I remember I was watching at the time. I was in the command center watching it on video, live on video, and the other investigators were inside. And I remember grabbing the walkie-talkie. The 2 rims just flew off the stack, and then it scared them. It was a loud echoing noise when it landed. But yeah, that was really cool because we were able to confirm what the owner's, one of his complaints, we're talking about. And we got a lot of evidence there. And I remember that location. You could actually hear voices with your own ears. It wasn't just EVPs. It was disembodied voices you could actually hear with your own ear at times.
That incident was caught on videotape by your equipment, correct?
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let me see what else is next. Oh, you went to Wisconsin a couple of these capers, the Karsten Hotel. And when you were out there, the Channel 2 Action News in Green Bay found out you were there, and they actually did a segment, right?
Yeah, I've been out there maybe 3-4 times. It's an awesome location in Kewaunee, Wisconsin. And Green Bay Channel 2 News found out we were coming, so they came out the first night, interviewed us, and interviewed the owner, and we showed them some evidence we captured there in the past. And they thought it was so cool. They're like, I know you're doing an investigation the next night, Saturday night, and could we be a part of it? And I'm like, sure. And so I think they stuck around for 3 or 4 hours. Awesome experience. It's a lot of fun.
You were there how many times at the Carson? Just once?
No, maybe 4.
Oh, and each time you've got some good video and audio from entities, shall we call them?
Yes, unexplained phenomenon.
You know what? I hate a breakdown on this. Let me see. Yes, we talked about this. Residual trapped energy versus intelligent entities. And the way you explain it to me, intelligent entities are these spirits that know you're there.
Correct. And can communicate if they want.
Yes. Residual trapped energy is spirits that are unaware of your presence. They just keep repeating some act at some place, correct?
Yeah, to me, it's almost like a broken record, looping over and over, skipping over and over. If you're there or not, the same activity, the same footstep, or maybe the same door will be opening. And, like for instance, I captured in an old police station, which we'll probably talk about later, I captured unexplained gunshots. It came from that room, nowhere else. None of the other recording devices captured it. Captured 6 shots in a voice. And I believe that was residual energy. And I found out later that was a gun range back when it first opened. So that's just trapped energy making these gunshots over and over again if you're there or not.
There's an incredible amount of interest in these type cases. I mean, I've seen documentaries on the Travel Channel, on, as a matter of fact, History Channel. They have segments on many of their shows. And you were actually in the Biography Channel for when they did a segment on one of your investigations, correct?
Yeah, I think it was called, if I remember correctly, My Ghost Story. So the Casa Madrid made it, and also the Congress Theater investigation made it. So it was kind of cool. They flew us out to California, to LA. We did some studio there, and then they came back and did the reenactments. And it was a cool experience. You're talking about going back to residual energy and going back to the Casa Madrid. Now, I believe this was trapped residual energy. Like I walk into a room and I don't believe they were talking to me at that time, but I could hear, I recaptured voices of ladies of the night. And I know we're on the radio, so I won't say any, but offering what we would say their services, and then hearing male voices answer. So I think it's like I walked in that room, and maybe it was 1930, 1940s, or whatever it was, and I just can't see it, but all this activity is going on, kind of behind the scenes.
So strictly audio, you're getting audio impressions out of this place, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Well, you got it documented on your equipment and on your tapes, correct?
Correct.
That's nice.
That's the first location I was actually ever sworn at from the other side. That's the first time because it was, usually when it comes to locations, I don't provoke or anything like that, especially if it's someone's home, someone's business. The last thing I want to do is make it worse. But that place, knowing that it was all gangster stuff, and they were raided by the police in the past, and they would always go after the illegal gambling money. So I had, I brought some police gear with me, from handcuffs, probably a star, certain things like that. Just using them as trigger objects. Had a stack of paper in my hand, and siren was going by outside. I don't know if it was an ambulance or a squad car, but I thought, okay, here's the perfect opportunity. Took out the star, handcuffs, had the paperwork. I said, Rocco DeGrazia, here's my boys. They're pulling up now. I got a search warrant. I'm going to find your safe and take your money. And then boom, the swear words started coming on the recordings. Like, I won't say the word, but it's like, you got to be effing kidding me. We're effed. And then there was a threat. I don't know if it was to me or something back in time, but it's, you're effing dead. And, stuff like that. It was, sometimes when you act the part, and that's what they're used to, it helps create this energy and they come through. But I thought that was pretty cool.
You get a reaction through aggravating the spirits, my friend.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to do that at someone's house or business, but there's certain locations that might stir the pot up a little bit,
Let's jump a little bit. With that same train of thought, you went to the old Lake County Jail in Crown Point, Indiana. This was where Dillinger was held and escaped from in the 30s.
Yes, that was...
And if I remember correctly, you did the same thing. You had a baton rattling the cages, the cells, correct?
Right. Yes. I brought some old uniform shirts and old gear that I don't use anymore, and just doing reenactments again. Once in a time, once in a while, that will stir up the activity more, because that's what they're probably used to seeing is maybe uniforms, maybe handcuffs, nightsticks, shackles, and stuff like that. So yeah, it worked. Yeah, we got some unexplained voices, and some of it seems to be intelligent because they were answering our questions.
Now, for the average person, I believe the Lake County Jail in Crown Point, Indiana, gives historical tours. Do they not?
Yes, at least that when I went there, they were doing that. They were given overnight investigations and tours to help.
I like that historical stuff. Years ago, there used to be a John Dillinger museum with many items from that era and Dillinger, and they closed up. There's a lot of interest in historical evidence and tours like this, not just ghostly, but there is a lot of interest. Let's go back to Wisconsin, the Brunder Mansion.
The Brunder Mansion, I've been there maybe a half dozen times. The owners are great. It's a bed and breakfast, and has a lot of history to it, some gangster history too. But yeah, it's an awesome place. The bed and breakfast, they allow investigations there, and I've got some really good stuff from that location.
Now, the Brunder Mansion, for people that don't know, like you said, it's a bed and breakfast currently
in Milwaukee.
And people go there because they know of the hauntings and they're interested in that type of stuff, correct?
Yes, yeah, there it is there. Yeah, it's an awesome place, and the owners, terrific people.
You know what? I understand people have a fascination with these ghostly stories, and they want to check this stuff out. But I sure wouldn't want to go stay the night at the Shining Hotel. You know what I mean?
I haven't been there, but I definitely would go.
You would go?
Oh, yes.
You'd spend the night?
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, you're at your weakest when you sleep. You know this, right?
I've captured at haunted locations, sometimes the most haunted bedroom or hotel room. And I would have equipment running in the middle of the night, especially at that Karsten. The one room, I forget the number of it. I think it was on the third floor. It was supposed to be the most haunted room, and had the cameras running overnight, and I captured a voice, unexplained voice, telling me to wake up. It goes, "Wake up."
Anyways, I don't want to spend the night there. But with that being said, we got some more. We're going to go in their second half, and I want to talk and let the people know about some malevolent encounters you had, some evil spirits that actually caused you some physical harm. And we've talked about this a couple years back. So I want to use that for the second half because it's kind of an intricate story. But where's your website before we go to commercial? Tell everybody.
It's ChicagoParanormal.com.
And your Facebook?
Chicago Paranormal Investigators. And then same thing with Instagram.
Chicago Paranormal Investigators. There it is. You guys can Google it while we're going to break. We will be back in about 2 minutes, right after this quick news break. So stay with us. I have Dave Olson from Chicago Paranormal Investigators, a real-life ghost hunter, ghostbuster. This is it. Who are you going to call? Dave Olson. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the second half of Life Experiences with William Pelarenos. And if you are just joining us, I have the privilege of having the great Dave Olson here. If you don't know who Dave Olson is,
Thanks, buddy.
he is the founding member of an organization called Chicago Paranormal Investigators. You can look that up on their website, ChicagoParanormalInvestigators.com. Him and a group of other police officers, firefighters, IDOT workers, professionals have grouped together to investigate ghostly encounters. Just like you see on the Biography Channel, on History Channel, they go out and
Travel
they
Channel.
Yes, and they do investigate. You've been featured on WGN TV. You've been featured, as we talked about in the first half, on Green Bay Action 2 News.
Yeah.
I saw you, it was about 2 years ago on WGN, and it's always around Halloween time they bring you on.
Right. Yeah, I've been on the radio station and the studios, the Channel 9 studios. I've been on WLS a couple times. I've been on Mancow once.
I was on Mancow.
Were you?
Crazy time.
And then,
the TV show, the MASH, right? Or were you on the radio?
on the radio.
Oh, but he used to have a 2-hour TV show in the mornings that aired on CIU, I think, and I was on there. That's what gave me my start. So anyways, with that being said, Dave and his crew are called out by owners of properties that have encountering, let's say, ghostly encounters or entities.
Unexplained activity, basically, yeah.
Unexplained activity. Sometimes it's audio, sometimes it's visual, but there are some dangerous ones. And let's go to the one we were talking about with the fires. Is it in Wisconsin?
Oh, with the fires? Yeah,
Yes.
that was a sad case. This case broke my heart. The family, it's just sad. But we got called to a location about maybe an hour past the Wisconsin Dells, and they had major tragedy in the family from illnesses, their animals, livestock getting sick for no reason. Their barn burned up, killed some of the livestock. About a month later, after the barn burned up, the house went on fire and tragically killed 4 of her kids. 2 of them survived, but 4 of them passed, which is, it's heartbreaking. And so we got called out there because they want to know if the land was safe to build a new house on it. And the reason they were unsure is, I believe, if I remember correctly, 2 of the kids before this all occurred, kept on seeing an unexplained figure on the land, roaming around the land. I forget how many acres it was, but it was large, pretty big property. But we believe this is some type of skinwalker, out and about, possibly causing these fires. I think one of the daughters, before she passed, was having like night terrors and bad dreams about the fires and seeing this creature. And so when I went out there with other teammates, one of them was the fireman Matt. One of them was the psychic medium that we work with sometimes, Lorianne. And Lorianne, before we took the case, she interviewed her, and Lorianne described this figure to the mother. And the mother's like, "Oh my God, this is what my kids described, but we didn't believe them." And so Lorianne, picked this up. This was running around the land, and not just their land, but when I went out there, other farmers or farmers' wives complained they saw a similar creature. And it was heartbreaking. But I believe the kids moved on. I don't think we didn't communicate with the kids at all. So hopefully they went to the next step into the light, and
So these fires were occurring on farmlands in or about Sparta, Wisconsin, right?
Correct. Some of them, according to the owners of the property, were unexplained and or undetermined. And but yeah, it seems like a lot of barns for no reason went on fire. Some homes, some buildings, around the property, and the land has a lot of history, especially when it goes back to Native Americans. So this was their property, forcefully taken away. And they could have cursed the land with, and maybe this is what the creature they saw was some type of skinwalker that's upset, and their job is to destroy and move people off the property that was was theirs at one time.
So have these fires ceased over the years?
That I don't know. I haven't had a chance to do a
Follow up.
follow up, and
All right. Let's talk about these malevolent encounters. And by malevolent, what I mean is evil spirit type encounters. There's two that I'm aware of that you dealt with. Tell our listeners.
All right. The first one, and like I say, until things happen to me, I keep an open mind, but until I experience it myself, that's when I become a believer, or if it happened to a team member. But I went to this house in Appleton, Wisconsin, and this happened right in front of the homeowners and in front of my team members. I walk in, approximately 30 seconds or so, something attacked me where I forget what side of the face, but right next to my eye, it welted up, then dug down deep, ripped open my ear, and then a big scratch down my neck. And, they said, "Dave, you're getting scratched." And then seconds later, it started burning and stuff like that. And then I got attacked a second time at that location approximately about 2 a.m. or so. And I'm near the same area, and we were going to do a group session with the homeowners, EVP session. So I asked questions and see if we could get any answers back on recordings. And as I'm standing there, it's pitch dark and I'm burning. It's like someone's taking a lighter to my neck. It's like I'm on fire. And so they come with the flashlights and cameras, and a long line of welts started forming in front of their eyes. And then I remember we got a unexplained voice, a male voice at that time, saying the word rash. And so I admit that's the first time something like that ever happened to me, where whatever's there, I feel like wanted to do me harm. And so before driving home, when the investigation was over, I wanted to try to get a couple hours sleep before driving home. And I admit I was a little bit nervous to shut my eyes because I thought it was going to get me again a third time. But it was weird. After we left the premises, the property, all the marks, all the scratches, I don't know how it can happen, but they all disappeared.
They just went away.
Yeah, when you break skin, how does that even happen? That opened my eyes. I didn't even know that was possible, to be honest.
Was there a second separate incident with an evil spirit like that?
Yeah, this one really opened my eyes, and it got me a little more religious. Where I started getting blessed items, because after a few of these investigations where we came to something nasty, I had to learn to protect myself, protect my family, protect the other investigators. So I'm not here to preach, religion or anything like that, but I had a lot of items blessed that I use, from crosses, holy water, to medals, and all kind of stuff. And then we also learned to use sage, Palo Santo, the smudge, and the cleanse any negativity. But anyway, this one, I almost gave it up after this. This one really shook me up. I didn't feel right after this, a case that I had never handled. But I get a call. I was working my side job, which was a haunted location. And I get a call from this lady. And she said after they did the construction on their house, activity started in their house. And her husband started having very bad night terrors. That she started recording on her phone. He went to sleep studies. They couldn't find anything wrong with him. Only has him at the house, not at other locations. And she goes, listen closely. When he's on the recordings, when he's screaming, it sounds like he's being attacked and all kind of stuff like that. She said, listen closely. I hear a woman's voice moaning his name as he's being attacked. She's playing it. I'm driving home. She's playing it over her home phone from her cell phone. I hear something, but I really couldn't make it out. I said, I hear something, but I'm not sure what it is. And then I pull in my driveway, pitch dark. It's about 11:30 at night. I stayed outside because my daughter was really young at the time. I don't want to wake her up, and I don't want to wake up my wife. And within seconds, I don't even know if this was possible, but this voice starts coming through the phone lines. And if you could picture like an exorcist type voice, or from a movie, like a demonic type, type of voice, and the laugh, the hideous laugh, I'll never forget, starts coming through the phone lines. And at first I thought it was her. And so I started getting upset because this was a 16-hour day for me. I did the police department, and then I did the side job for another 8 hours. And so I kind of got upset. I said, I think this is a joke, wasting my time like this, playing a trick on me. And she goes, what are you talking about? And she wasn't hearing these voices coming through the phone line, only me at the time. But now I hear it talking over her. So now it's not, I know it's not her. And it starts moaning her husband's name, this unexplained voice. And I'm in shock. It's like my jaw hit the ground. I'm like, what's going on here? Because this is the first time I experienced this. And then it starts moaning my name, David, in that type of voice. And then the phone lines went dead. And within seconds, I'm like being choked. Like it's almost like two fingers. I could feel the pressure pushing in my windpipe. And I'm freaking out because I can't breathe. And the only thing, I left my driver's window open, and I was leaning because I couldn't breathe. And I saw my cross, which I ripped down off the rearview mirror. And once I grabbed it and held it close, I was able to take a breath and breathe again. And then she calls me back maybe a minute or so later. She goes, Dave, I'm so sorry. My home phone, I can't get a dial tone anymore. I had to call you from my cell phone. And then his voice comes back. I don't even know if it was speaking English. It's like all this jibber jabber, this. It's like from the movies. And so I never got her address. I never got a chance to try to set up a date because it was talking over me, talking over her. It spooked me. It scared me. And then it spooked her. And so I wonder to this day, what would have happened if I went there? I mean, I want to be man enough and be able to document this stuff to show that it might be out there. And, but I still wonder to this day how she's doing, if it's still there, if she's all right. If I went to the case, if it was some evil or demonic, what would it done to me or my family? So I didn't feel right for a week, and I had to do a lot of research on that. And but I still wonder.
You know what? I'm glad you bring that up. Now, we talked about this in the first half. There's a lot of energy forms or entities, the way you want to call them. And we talked about, just so our listeners understand, there's residual trapped energy, which is like spirits that keep repeating the same event over and over and over. You get this with a lot of Civil War stories
Exactly.
in old houses where, and they don't even interact with the homeowners. They're just, it's, how did you say? Well, it's almost like a broken record on repeat.
Yeah, looping over and over again.
Yeah, the second type is intelligent entities, and these entities know you are there, and they can interact with you, or you vice versa, you interact with them.
Correct.
But then now we're getting into something almost demonic entities.
Yeah, I can't prove 100% that was demonic, but it opened my eyes to the possibility, because whatever that was strong, and I've never, and it's rare. It's not, it doesn't happen that often, at least in my experience. But now I know something. I mean, with my experience, I could never say 100% sure, but also with the psychic mediums I deal with, there's a difference. Let's see, when you pass, the mediums say you got 72 hours to move on to the light, whatever that next step is, whatever you believe. And if you don't, you're earthbound. That's the energy that we pick up and that. And so the spirit, I mean, if it wasn't demonic or anything evil like that, then it was someone that was evil and strong in real life. Like, say, if you didn't move on to the light and you stay earthbound, you're the same person you were when you were living. So if you were, for instance, like a serial killer, or maybe just a crabby old man, or woman, or you're the same way until you move on to the next step.
Oh, I believe that. Absolutely. A lot of people don't believe in ghostly encounters, but ghosts have been written about through the centuries. Go back to William Shakespeare talking about ghostly entities. I mean, normal people. As a matter of fact, when I was interviewing you last night, a young lady overheard us talking, and she starts telling us about the day after her grandfather died. She saw his spirit.
Right. Yeah.
These are normal working class people that see this. They're not out trying to make a buck. They're out, they're out, and she just happened to come forward. This, I was surprised, But a lot of people, like you said, have stories about ghostly encounters.
Yeah,
so you can't disclude them,
right? And I'm not here to force this on anyone. I was skeptical, especially being the police for many years. I had encounters when I was younger that opened my eyes to this, and my experience, there's some unexplainable out there. Now, we tried, especially with the firemen on the team, we're always looking for logical answers. Not everything's paranormal. Not every noise you hear in the house is paranormal. Sometimes there's logical reasons why. But with my experience and what my team believes, there's unexplained stuff out there.
That's what I bring people for, life experiences. This is what the show's about. This is what you've encountered. That's why I'm glad you're here, especially in the month of October. There's a lot of interest in this. There's haunted tours. People are interested, even people that had never had an encounter. They want to see what's going on. Now, actually, for the Lincoln Park Zoo, you were part of their haunted tours for a little bit, right?
Yeah, the first year. Yeah, it was. And
Dr. Lester Fisher?
I didn't know anything about the history of the Lincoln Park Zoo, and wow, I tell you, that's there's probably from the last time I did the tours there. I forget how many years ago that was, but I think we got a fan out there. But anyway, we got there just could be 10 to 13,000 bodies still buried out there, unmarked graves all over the place, and I think the reason why these grounds have activity for several reasons. All the unmarked graves that are still there. And then you had you had what was called the Suicide Bridge. I don't know if you ever heard about that. It goes back to the World's Fair time, where it was a 4-story bridge, and you had people that committed suicide off that bridge. For some reason, they were attracted to that bridge. And when commit suicide.
You know
take their
what?
life.
If these poor tortured souls killed themselves for depression or whatever it was in this life, they could be trapped in the next life repeating these type of you said like loops, repeating the event in the afterlife as residual trapped energy.
You also what could be part of this too. You had the gangsters, the Irish mob that lived like the St. Valentine's Massacre wasn't far from the zoo at all, and then you had. Was it Cafe Brower? I forget the name of the cafe. There's rumors that they used that for mobster meetings and gangster stuff. You had all the, I think there was drownings too, in the ponds and stuff like that. So, I mean, you take all this activity from the cemeteries that were there. And the reason why, if I understand correctly, why the bodies are still there. You had the Chicago fire that came through and burned up all the wooden markers. You had all the people that lost everything that left, new people coming in. It was just forgotten about. Almost like the land, the property of Wright College.
Yes, we'll get to Wright College on another episode, but I want to touch on a lot of things. There's, as you talk about haunted houses, haunted hospitals you've investigated, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's another... Now, what we also touched on, haunted hotels, what we also touched on prior to our broadcast here, you were talking haunted items. With this last 2 minutes, let's talk about that real quickly. This fireplace incident.
Yeah, this was the house where I got scratched from. There was different entities there. Whatever was evil that had attacked me. And then there was something that was attached to an item, like, for instance, I keep my mind open. So this actually showed me proof that was that it's possible, and I do believe in it now. But there was this artsy piece of old fireplace that was found on the roadside. The lady that picked it up used to live at another location ever since she brought that in. She was an artist herself, so she redid it. She liked it, but then she started seeing this male entity hanging around the fireplace, and would go to her bedroom, stand over her and back to the fireplace. She didn't think nothing of it. She didn't attach it to the fireplace, but brought it to her new house, same entity, and do the same thing, lean against the fireplace, go to her bedroom, stand over her, and then back to the fireplace, the route it would take. And so we linked it together and told her to get rid of the fireplace. And once she got rid of the fireplace, that spirit was gone. We found out later, or she found out for us, that where she picked it up was maybe a block away from her house, and the guy who built it committed suicide, and this was supposedly one of his favorite pieces that he built, but for some reason his energy was attached to it.
So, folks, when you go to that flea market or that estate sale, be careful of what you're buying. Here, Matthew's smiling. Matthew, Did you buy some haunted property?
I have a box, and I had got it off eBay, and it's like an old box with a key, and I thought it looked great, and I still think it looks great. But when I opened it, I opened the package, I got a really weird feeling. So I did a little blessing with my great grandma's rosary, and so far so good. But that was the one time I bought something, I was like, and I opened it, like I didn't open the box yet, but I had opened it in the package. I was like, oh, this feels a little bit odd.
Buyer beware. Remember this on these items you're buying. We're running out of time here, Dave. You got to come back for our Halloween show. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Your website is Chicago Paranormal Investigators, as well as on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, the website is chicagoparanormal.com, but everything else is Investigators.
Okay, that's it. I stand corrected. Follow me on Pelarenos Police Project on Facebook. On Twitter, I'm at Police Project 1. Thank you. Catch us next week, and we'll try to get Dave back here for the Halloween episode. Thank you very much.
Thank you.